Chainlink is pumping, and so is Haycoin, and we got some terrorism FUD. This is Around the Blockchain. Thank you for joining, everybody. We got a little bit of a issue with our second guest, but please hit that like button because we got 4 phenomenal guests anyways. We're going to start with Moonin Papa. And Moonin, today might be the day. You're in the green square. How are you feeling today?
I'm staying awesome. I'm staying in the green, literally. So I'm doing pretty good. How are
right.
you?
Do you hold Chainlink?
I don't.
All right. We're going to start him at negative 5 points.
I was running a grid bot on Chainlink for months and months and months. Like, crazy consolidation range for over a year. So yeah,
over 500 days. Also on today, we have Crypto Savy. He might be joining in live. We kind of had a camera issue, so we're working through the kinks right now. And then also we have Fettuccine from Angel Baby Hit Squad, which is now called not Cherub Rock. That's from Smashing Pumpkins. What's the name again?
Cherubim.
Cherub. Are you a fan of the Smashing Pumpkins song? You were laughing there.
I don't. I'm not familiar. But
all right, we're starting him at negative 5 points as well. And then we have Pete from Pete. Well, you tell us the tax software company you're from.
Lorenzo Tax. We're a crypto CPA firm. And Lorenzo's been on here, so you guys probably remember him.
Yeah. But you know what? We like Lorenzo, but we like Pete even more, folks. All right, let's get right into Chainlink. I said today we need to have Chainlink. Nate, I demanded today we talk about Chainlink, folks. Let me share this article real quick. Chainlink surges 40% in a week. Insider reveals the real reason why. He was saying it is Chainlink staking, not 2.0. It's actually 0.2 is coming out. But after it broke out of the 18-month high of $10.86. Like Moonin Papa was saying, trading in a range in the world's most boring range. Even Bitcoin from 15 to all the way up to 30, and ETH is, from 1,000 to close above 2,000. Chainlink has been flat. It was over 500 days, just kind of hanging around the $6 to $8 range. Well, over 550 days later, we finally broke out. We are seeing some large whale activity when it comes to Chainlink as well. It looks like BitThumb and Upbit have dumped $9 million dumped onto their exchange in the past 24 hours. And Chainlink also want to point out, that's the insider with the real reason there. We'll point out they're working heavily with the large institutions on the real world assets. So a lot of things pumping it. Now, Moonin Papa, you don't hold it. I got to ask you, well, what are your thoughts on Chainlink then?
I mean, seeing an asset going sideways for such a long time is not bullish at all. So while it's not bullish for long-term holding, it's fantastic for intraday trading or swing trading, which is what I've been doing with Chainlink for a long time. But long-term vision for Chainlink is going to be like everything else. I know there are some people out there that don't think Bitcoin is going to make an all-time high next year. I do think it's going to make an all-time high, and I think that we're going to see a lot of these tokens that have just been ranging sideways. Link is the exaggeration of ranging sideways. But we're going to see a lot of these tokens shoot up past their all-time high. I mean, I have to be called Moonin Papa for a reason, right? So got a little bit of that hopium flowing through my veins this morning. But I think that Link is going to see some really, really, really bright days ahead of it. Now, I'm not buying on the breakout. I'm going to be buying when it comes back down to touch. And then I'll be probably turning on a bot, which would be the easiest thing to do with it instead of just buying and holding.
All right, I'm coming in with a price range of around, previous all-time high, April 21, right around $50. Next all-time high, there's going to be around 6x the amount of coins. So I'm not going to say even more than double. I'm kind of coming in $80, $90. What about your range?
Yeah, when you increase the supply like that, yeah, it does kind of chop it off at the knees. I would say probably around, less than $100 would make sense to me, unless there is real world adoption, like you said before. But I mean, that's a lot of talk, and we're not really seeing that happen yet.
All right, so let's Morgan Stanley and BlackRock start buying up. All right, maybe a little less than half. Well, Crypto Savvy, we got you in here. I just brought up the amount of Chainlink today compared to April 21 is 6x. I am a Chainlink Marine. I'm a Link Marine. I love Chainlink. I honestly don't even have that much. I kind of like talking about it a lot. It was one of my first wins / losses in crypto. I bought a whole bunch at $2, sold it at $4, thought I was a genius. So I counted it as a win, but it was a little bit of a loss when you see it hit $40, $50. But I'm still bullish. I do think it's going to go into a new all-time high, even though there's 6x the coins. Can you talk me off the ledge? Can you give me some bearish dashes here so I'm not just full of optimism and hopium?
Yeah, so its all-time high was what, $53. We now have risen. How much have we risen? I mean, it's 100% if you look at it to the
Yeah,
upside
it's
or whatever.
basically from 5 to 10. So it's essentially doubled from the lows.
Right, but you look at it from where it's at, and I can't. Trying to pull up the right crap.
Oh, are we going to get
it's still down? How
Savylytics
much?
here?
How much we still down?
From
78%.
$50.
So,
Yeah. I was going to say around.
when
80%.
you zoom into stuff, of course it's going to look good when it's getting a little bounce. But you know what I think of most, if not all altcoins. I don't know what's going on with my camera guys that just did it again, but it's vaporware. It's literally a vaporware. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see, because a lot of people saying oracles are going to be important. I'm kind of in that camp now. Fettuccine, and yeah, we'll figure out the camera thing. Thanks for being patient, audience here. I want to ask you about NFTs, Fettuccine. You have launched a couple NFT projects. I look at, a handful of things hit mainstream in 2021. I would say, NFTs, I would say that kind of hit mainstream. I would say Doge hit mainstream. Well, Chainlink's value prop is real world assets. A lot of people are talking about, you can tokenize a Rolex, you can tokenize a Van Gogh painting, and you can sell it on the blockchain. Can RWAs hit mainstream? Can real world assets get normies excited?
I'm actually in that same camp of thought. I really think that real world assets are the next big thing for crypto. It provides so much liquidity, just in terms of, like, if you want a loan on your Rolex, you could get it tokenized and trading on that. Whereas instead, like before that, you'd have to go in and find somebody to buy it and send it to them, which is an incredibly difficult process. But opening up this real world assets for everything. I mean, you could do watches, you could do fine paintings, you could do clothing, you could do real estate. I mean, there's so many different options, and blockchain provides so much transparency where it wasn't available before in the traditional market. So I'm incredibly bullish on real world assets. I'm working on a few different things in that space, so I'm really excited about it.
Can you share your business model so the competitors can steal it?
Actually, I think it's really interesting, because it's a way to open up, like, even certificates of authenticity. You could verify that a certain product is real. You could transfer it from wallet to wallet, and you could tie it to a specific asset. So if I had a token that was associated with this watch, I could ship somebody the watch, and then they could claim the token out of my wallet, and then they know that that's a legitimate Rolex or whatever company it is.
All right. Well, maybe Fettuccine can be one of the authenticators in the future. Who knows? All right. Last question here, Pete, and it's kind of a tax-related question here. Chainlink, according to the experts, Chainlink God, when you have a name like that, I'm sure you're not biased, but the experts are saying a large reason for the pumps is the staking. We have now expanded staking for Chainlink here. I want to ask you, self-custody is always the way. We do preach self-custody, so you got to be careful with staking. But that being said, if you had a bag of Chainlink, would you feel comfortable staking? What would Pete do?
So I had a bag of Chainlink before I got liquidated.
Another minus 5 points. Oh,
Like
you
everyone
leverage
else.
trade it? You leverage traded it?
Oh,
All right,
absolutely.
You're up 5. You're up 5 again. Okay, we like degens here.
But having said that, I do believe in staking as long as it's on the native blockchain. So I don't like staking in centralized platforms, but I do like staking in the protocol itself. Having said that, I believe this recent price surge is due to large players trying to front run staking, because it looks like there's an advantage right now to getting in early. So absolutely, yeah. If you're going to hold a coin, the way I look at it, if the staking fails, the coin's probably going to fail. So why not stake?
All right. You know what I mean? All right. I will be staking my link, and I'll probably do a little tutorial for you folks here. All right. Let's talk about HeyCoin. HeyCoin had a little bit of a ride, folks. Let's share this screen, because this is going to, if you hold on here, first Uniswap token jumps to $3 million per token But let me show you the chart on the bottom here. It's a little bit much, folks. Here you can see zero, essentially near zero, and then a skyrocketing all the way off of the screen there. Then it is now settled. When I looked today, it was down 16%, settling around 3K. Well, it's Uniswap's first token ever. It was made by one of the devs. It was a testnet token, pumped about 300% there. He burned 99.99% of the supply. Original tokens were launched during 2019. They weren't intended to hold any value, so that's why a large part was destroyed. But the crypto sleuths, those blockchain detectives, they found this coin. They started doing some digging, and they saw what was left. 4.4 tokens. Not million, not billion, not trillion, not quadrillion. 4 tokens total, 4.4. And so that's why we end up seeing a price surging to $3 million per token. I don't think you're going to be able to sell it for that if you did get in on that. Now, Moonin Papa, I want to ask you. So this guy, he had an opportunity to dump. He could have dumped all over retail. He chose to burn his entire supply. In fact, he burnt 99.99%. Why did he burn those tokens instead of dumping on the degens?
I think because, I mean, if you remember last week, Uniswap was talking about their new, what was it, forks? No, they're some sort of plugins. I can't remember the right word, but they did dangle the whole KYC thing in front of everybody's faces. So I think if this guy decided to dump all his tokens on retail, it'd be a really bad look, not just for him as a developer for Uniswap, but also for the Uniswap company, which already has a little bit of a smear on their reputation in my opinion. So also, it's just like being a normal human being, not to dump that much of the supply on the holders. I know we've seen tons of rugs just like this before, but thank God we have some decent people that are devs that are just getting these tokens and they happen to go up and he's just burning it, which is amazing. So I think they've earned back a lot of street cred, at least in my opinion.
All right. In my opinion, if you're burning right now, you need to hit that like button, folks. All right. Now, Crypto Savvy, I want to ask you this because I'm actually curious. You're a TA guy. He's still there, folks. He's still there. Maybe we'll just keep it on the 5-shot here.
I am still here. I don't know what's going on with my camera.
Right.
Sorry about that, guys.
It's fine. I think the story here is supply. He had 4.4. Well, Savvy, you're a TA guy. Having said that, how important is TA to you? Or I'm sorry, how important is the token supply to you in reference to, using TA to predict price?
I honestly don't care about the token supply.
Okay. Is it show me the chart, I'll show you the news? Do you think it's priced in? Is that the main reason?
I mean, yeah. For the most part, I mean, charts are based on human emotion, right? Human emotion doesn't change. You got greed and you got fear that drives the markets.
I would say that.
But as in, if you're talking about, are you talking about the 4 tokens of?
Well, just more generally speaking, because some people will look at a coin. Well, this has a reward schedule like Cardano, 4%, but something else might have token unlocks more close to 40%. So maybe that would change, future price target.
No, it does not change it for me. Nope.
Okay, all right. We have a strictly TA guy here, folks. That's why we like Savvy. All right, now Fettuccine. I want to ask you, you kind of get the marketing aspect here. The NFT, kind of has a story behind the good ones, at least. What do you think of this story, of its origin story? Kind of has a good genesis story. Is there something here? Can you see this community? I don't want to say thriving, but can you see this community growing off this just kind of interesting, backstory?
I think it's a fun backstory. It kind of makes you want to collect a little bit of it just to be a part of it, especially if you're a Uniswap like Maxi or whatever. You love the platform. Why not own a little bit of Pay for the fun of it? I mean, nothing really changed about the token as a meme coin. It was essentially a 10,000 to 1 reverse stock split. Nothing changed about the value. And with tokens the way that they are, you could fractionalize them to like millions and millions of decimal points or whatever. So 4.4 really doesn't mean anything. It could essentially be 44 million still, but it makes it fun. And why not have some fun during these difficult times in the market?
All right, well, let's talk about having fun in a difficult time. Pete, I don't even know if there's a person alive on the planet that can answer this accurately. I don't even think the IRS knows, is kind of what I'm alluding to. He comes up into your office, this dev, and he says, hey, I just burnt 99.99% of this token that is worth $3 million per token. What's the tax event here?
You know, we would actually look
I
at
know
that
it's
as an
tough. I'm
expense.
sorry.
No, we would expense that against income. I mean, that's what happens when you burn coins, either for a protocol or to buy a node, or whenever you burn a coin, we expense it, and then any return that comes in from that platform or that node or whatever, we count as income. So if he were a client, we would be like, man, you just made the mother of all expenses. You're not going to pay income tax for 100 years now.
All right. I'm not going to speak on the ethics here, but you know what? I'm about to sign up for modern day CPA, folks. That's all I'm going to say. And I do want to say shout out to Linqto. It's definitely worth checking that out. Sign up for Linqto. You can find the link in the description below if you want to trade like an accredited investor. All right, Moonin Papa, final story here. And it's the terrorism FUD that is spreading. I got a couple facts here. You know, maybe we even have a little article. Cash is king for terror financing. Crypto, it's a negligible role, folks. Well, Chainalysis did a big report here. It's essentially saying they overstated the metrics when it comes to the terrorism financing here. They're saying the most popular method, it's still fiat, of course, specifically shell corporations. So you're going to see much more terror financing through the shell corporation game, seemingly to take over advantages of the escalating tensions. Elizabeth Warren is pointing to it and saying there is a war on crypto that needs to happen now. They're financing terrorism. The letter from Elizabeth Warren, Congress and this administration must take strong action to thoroughly address crypto illicit finance risks before it could be used to finance another tragedy. So very essentially linking it to that terror attack there. Well, someone, a market analyst at Swan, he called out the Wall Street Journal's also false reporting. Elizabeth Warren used the Wall Street Journal report. What was in the Wall Street Journal report? Well, they said, Hamas got $90 million worth of crypto donations. The real number was not 90 million. Sorry, Wall Street Journal, you've been found out. 450,000. That's just a 200x exaggeration by the Wall Street Journal. Not they doubled it. No, a 200x exaggeration, folks, there. Now, Moonin Papa, what are your thoughts on this? You know, let's take away Monero. Let's pretend they're not I'm trying to think of the guy's name, Mr. Robot, right? We're just talking about, just regular people, regular terrorists, if that is such a thing. Is crypto good for terrorists?
No, are you kidding? Well, I don't understand why any thief or criminal or terrorist would ever want to touch crypto, because everything is made public on the blockchain. Like it is laughable that Senator Warren, being an angry old white woman, probably shaking while she's giving her speech about Karen. Crypto. It's but she just obviously doesn't understand cryptocurrency. She hasn't spent the time to not even get into the weeds, but literally just read the white paper, like a Bitcoin and what it stands for. Like it's laughable that they're pointing to cryptocurrency as the culprit when it's clear, like it is so much easier to launder money, even through countries, through private banks, through shell companies, like you said before. There's literally no comparison between financing through crypto or financing through fiat. It's way easier just to call up Mr. Biden and be like, hey, man, Joe, can you just send us like $6 billion? It'd help us out a lot. Thanks, man. Like it's so much easier than trying to raise funds through crypto. Maybe sending money could be easier with crypto, and that trying to wire millions upon millions of dollars would be maybe a challenge, but there has to be some sort of finance person that's associated with these groups to help facilitate those moves in a way that flies under the radar at the same time. So why would you want to send stuff publicly on the blockchain? I have no idea.
It does not work, folks. I'm almost surprised, like these defense departments and intelligence agencies aren't like, stop saying that. We want them to keep using it. All right. Now, Savvy. So Elizabeth Warren, she cited the Wall Street Journal report in between shutting down kids' lemonade stands. I want to ask you, why did the Wall Street Journal have this false reporting? Why are they lying? Do you think they're just mistaken, or is there something more sinister here?
It's probably something more sinister. I mean, basically, how I look at the news is if you're hearing about it and they're talking about it, that's what they want you to hear, right? So the important stuff, we don't know what's going on, or at least I don't know what's going on. I'm sure somebody does out there, but yeah, I watch what I listen to on the news. Just like a lot of people are going to call me crazy, BRICS. Everybody says that, BRICS is the big thing. Everybody's moving towards BRICS. It's going to kill the dollar. If it was, we wouldn't be hearing about it, right?
Okay. You know what? That makes me think of the not that often thought of next superpower. It might not be China. It could be India. The reason, birth rates. But who knows, folks? 20 years, a lot can happen. All right. Fettuccine. Yeah, you got to have more kids, folks. 2.1. We got to start cranking them out. We don't want more adult diapers being sold than baby diapers. But I digress here. Fettuccine, I want to ask you here. Let's assume Elizabeth Warren is watching right now. She's commenting. She's saying bad things about your NFT project. I'm kidding. This is impossible to say bad things about it. But she's watching right now. Fettuccine, what is your message to Elizabeth Warren?
I'm a lot more wary of Congress and of the government in what they're doing with their finances than what we see publicly on the blockchain. I mean, it is an immutable public blockchain, unless you're talking about Monero. But we were just talking about it last week with what's his name, Jimmy Zhang. He stole the money 10 years ago, and it caught up to him 10 years later. You can immediately track somebody who's done some wrong in the past. So why would anybody fund terrorism when you know that 5 years from now you could be tracked back, and there's no hiding that transaction from anybody, from the government or from just the public in general. So I think that there's so many better ways, if you're going to be financing terrorism, to do it than through crypto. Obviously, the transaction ease would be easier, just because like going to the bank and sending $5,000 can sometimes be difficult, but it'll still catch up to you.
Yeah, the banks, they don't like giving you your own money. All right, now, Pete, I'm going to ask you a question here because I'm seeing similarities with this cryptos used to finance terrorism. I'm seeing similarities to another big lie they sold us 2 decades ago about terrorism. I'm talking about weapons of mass destructions. The public fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Will the public fall for this lie as well?
I don't think so, because this is all verifiable on chain.
Good point.
And it's a terrible idea for the user, for the person financing terrorism or doing any sort of illegal activity. You mentioned the program Chain Analysis. We have a license to that, and it is an unbelievably powerful program. We put one address in there, one of your addresses, whether it's an exchange address or a MetaMask address or whatever, and that thing crawls the blockchain and it shows what you've been doing. Terrorist organization or gambling site or dark web or scam site or whatever. It shows money flow. It shows crypto flow. And, the softwares are only getting better. And this stuff is on the blockchain permanently. I mean, forget about the softwares we have today. What are the softwares going to look like in 10 years? And if you think they won't go back 10 years to prosecute someone that funded terrorism, no way. They absolutely will. So,
have you worked with any of the Web3 companies that can look at a MetaMask address and link a social security number to it or someone's tax ID number from a foreign country? Have you seen any of those companies?
I mean, not necessarily, but I mean, you can kind of do that, because if you trace, say, Bitcoin to an exchange, all you have to do is call up that exchange. Now, maybe you need a subpoena. Okay, maybe you have to be law enforcement, but you go ahead and subpoena and say, this is the transaction hash. This was the the receiving address on the exchange. Please provide user identification, and that's why this move to KYC is all over the place. And we're getting more and more limited of being able to use exchanges without KYC. And, I tell clients every once in a while, they think it's still 2017. They want to try and hide this stuff. And I say, good luck. It maybe if you want to live like a drug dealer.
Yeah. If you
then
want to
you'll
live
be
like
able to
Jimmy
hide it.
Song. Yeah.
Because you got to spend it at some point, right? I mean, we're taking on, crypto audit jobs now where people, filed their crypto taxes, but now they're being audited. They didn't file with us. They filed with other people. And, we have to go back and forth and say, no, we're right, you're wrong. But then, I've seen the IRS come back and say, okay, so your client didn't make any, crypto gains in this year. Well, how did they buy that brand new M4 for cash? Could you explain that?
Yeah.
and now it's on the client to have to come up with an explanation. So again, yeah,
I have the
software's
answer.
only getting better.
I have the answer. I just watched, I'm in the middle of rewatching Breaking Bad. You just won it at the blackjack tables. You bought some Bitcoin. Oh, boating accident. I hate it when that happens. That's my plan anyways. I'm just joking. Of course, you should follow all local laws and regulations, especially if the IRS is watching. All right. And I know they are with Pete on today. All right. Well, folks, that is all we have time for. It was a great episode. And Moonin Papa ended up taking it home. I think Savy might have won if his camera didn't stop. But
Damn
Moonin Papa.
camera.
Stupid camera. All right, Moonin Papa, feel free. Leave us with some parting thoughts, please, sir.
You know what? I'm just happy to be here, happy to be hanging out with everybody. And of course, I love to be awesome and in the green. The main thing that everyone can benefit from right now is a little bit of a dose of reality. If you are making any sort of profit right now, just sell a little bit into the rally, just like a little bit, because it's not profit until you sell. And if you want to know more, you can go to thebettertraders.com. Also check out my course on verifiedinvesting.com with Gareth Soloway.
All right. And we love Verified Investing for the channel. Great resource. Check out Crypto Savvy. Check out Pete. Of course, check out Modern Day CPA as well. Lorenzo Tax and Fettuccine with the... It's because it's a letter, Fettuccine. Is it Cherub M? Cherub D?
It's Cherubim. BIM.
BIM. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I have boomer ears. Cherub BIM, of course. And you can check the links down below. Go check out all their content. Go follow them on all their social medias. That's all we got. Hit the like button. See you tomorrow.